Good morning and welcome to another fun-filled week in Kansas. Last week we showed up to find this bus. Our friend Bailey called us because this bus came into her life, and the story behind the bus is someone started converting it in the lockdown during the COVID business, and they'd never converted a bus before. So they did what a lot of people did, and they built it like they built a house. Unfortunately, that didn't go so well. So last week I tore out most of what was in here, and we found all the problems we could find. We've learned a lot of products just don't really work inside of a bus, and we've been going back and trying to fix all of that. What we're trying to do here is create a nice living space for as little as possible. So we're using most of the supplies that were already inside of the bus, as well as structural things. We did have an issue with the bus because this is a fiberglass style bus, so there's no steel frame in here. So I had to replicate a framework with wood because it was failing because the support poles had been removed. This week, we're gonna be finishing up the structures in here, putting some electricity in, maybe even doing some plumbing. Let's see what all we can do and how fast we can do it. You'll meet the site manager. He's been sneaking into the bus, or at least under the bus every day. There's a big squirrel. I like where these are going. Well, as a general practice, when I start getting good and frustrated with something, that's about the end of my day. So that's what I'm gonna call it today. I did manage to get the underside and the faces of these cabinets put on. Supports still have to be added against the back because right now this is just loose plywood. Once again, none of this is connected to the ceiling, so supports will go here and then everything ties down below. So this whole face will be able to be removed when I'm done by just taking off the bottom screws, and the whole thing will come off. And that allows access to the bus wiring, which, as you can see, is still available. And all of these are actually panels. Everything comes off. Nothing in this bus is hidden, or at least nothing that I have built is hidden. What's behind all of that, I can't tell you, and we have decided to not look. We'll do some more tomorrow, I promise.
Shane, I'm so happy you built me that window. I fought real hard for that one.
Oh, good morning, y'all. It's kind of a dark day, but it's a good day. I came in this morning and cleaned up and kept going with my little cabinet project. We're expanding upon this one now as well. Now this morning I noticed some moisture here. Nowhere else on the bus has leaked, but we had some water coming from up there, so I got out my ladder to find the problem. I don't want to share with you just how small of a place can cause such a big problem. Now, as you can see here on bus 5573, people have patched it along the way. That's some very creative caulking, as I call it. But there's still water coming in from this. So this is the double doors on the side, and it fits over the side of the bus. So this seam here is where it's leaking, and it's sealed beautifully, all except for that tiny little spot. And that spot is enough to ruin a lot of things. So let's get this sealed up, because we got some more rain coming, unfortunately.
Well, y'all, it's Sunday, so that means I am inside, not playing that banjo, but working on making sure that all of these videos come out for y'all. If you haven't already done so, be sure and hit that subscribe button and check out all of the videos that we've been posting for almost 5 years on the road now. The reason I'm shooting this is because I wanted to show y'all how we've been doing it lately. If you notice, they've all been coming out on time lately, and that's because we're not just relying on cell phone service anymore. HomeFi has sent us this really cool little router, and all we have to do is plug it in, and it gives us Wi-Fi, not only for our cell phones, but for my laptop too, which is really, really convenient. We're gonna continue to try this product out in all of the places that we go and let y'all know if it works everywhere. This might be the solution to a lot of problems, y'all.
Yo, I'm still trucking along with these cabinets. I've got this one's done. That's gonna be the doorway there. The rest are gonna match. This is super lightweight too. It's cedar trimmed with just the 1/4-inch plywood, which is quite nice for this type of cabinet design. Unfortunately, I'm coming to an unwanted standstill because, here it is, I keep breaking tools. Any of you that watch know I've been struggling with these yellow dudes. And unfortunately, I'm about to have to go buy some more, because I need every one of them to build this thing. It's so frustrating.
Oh, wow, look at that sunset. I think we might get back before it's completely gone. We got into town and got Shane's new tools and him ready to go back to work on the bus tomorrow. And I think we're almost back to our parking spot, y'all.
Well, good morning, y'all. My arsenal of yellow tools has been replenished. Now it's time to work on these doors. So this is the face to this cabinet back here. And that's really all that makes this cabinet up, is a plywood face and then these structural supports. And I'm tying them in the back with a stud that goes from each, but that's all that will hold up the face of these things. So it's really important that the doors not be outrageously heavy. So all the doors will consist of is this cutout and then overlapping cedar that just makes a cute little pattern around it, and that's a door. A little different than residential, I would say. Let's see what all we can do with these fancy new tools. Now with my cutout tool, I've cut most of this door out. So what I do next is I put glue around the perimeter of the inset. I lay my stripping around with a lap over the seam. And once all that sets, I just flip it over and finish cutting, and you have a door. Easy peasy, y'all. You could do it too. I have faith in you. Well, I can hear Kelsey playing to me. And I'm about tired. I've been working all day. I did want to show you guys kind of how all this goes. So my goal here is to have a pantry. And with every one of these projects, I build them at least 3 times. I start fabbing everything together as rough as possible, getting my lines. And I take it all apart, make it stronger, put it back together, and continue to do that until we have a finished product. This is going to be a really cool space. I'm making as much storage as I can in here. We'll do some more tomorrow. But I'm dirty. Oh, good morning. I'm back at making some sawdust. I'm still dry fitting things as I go. Once I'm happy with them, I glue them all together. I'm working on this little armrest, but it's actually going to be functional. A electrical outlet and USB ports will go in the front of this. And yeah, it's cool and all, but really the battery system is going to be down here, so that puts all of our electronics close. There's going to be another plug there, which honestly is quite a long run, so it has to come down the wall, down, and under the bed. And I'm sure we'll find a place for one more plug. Ooh, it's coming together, y'all. I know it's chaos. Just wait till I find me a broom. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a day. I didn't work a whole day on it, but Bailey did stop by, and I always appreciate when bus owners come by and see it. Positive feedback all around. It'll be different tomorrow. Y'all know it. I think Kelsey's making me a cheeseburger, and I'm excited. Y'all, in Kansas, that is a terrifying sound. But this particular part of Kansas, the neighbor rancher uses a tornado siren to call the cattle. Good morning, y'all. Another beautiful day here in Kansas. Come on in this bus with me, and hopefully I don't bust my butt while doing it. I came in this morning and went ahead and finished up that little window frame that I didn't do last night. And started actually cleaning this thing out. I was brought a vacuum cleaner yesterday. I should probably be using it. But there's a reason for all that. We're working on the last few structures. And then we get to start playing with the, you know, the difficult stuff. All the electrical and plumbing. And then eventually I'll build a bed when I'm finished putting everything in. We have a lot of systems still going in this bus. Let's see what we get done today. The dry fitting continues. These cabinet doors were made by the previous builder, and I hated to waste all the plywood, so we're going to be using them to cover the space. This panel back here goes on this side of it, and I still have to do one for the back of it as well. And that's my spacing for the shelves. I may adjust that. It's also going to gain access to this area because there's just not very much room. It's the size of my hand, so I decided to leave it covered and just do a pass through. You'll be able to cram a bunch of stuff in here. I foresee part of this being a closet and part of it being a pantry. You could fit a whole lot of food in there. So as y'all can see, I'm halfway done with this cabinet, so I'm gonna stop working on it. because there's other things that have to be built in here. So I've went as far as I want to go on this before I finish it, which means I have to move on to something else. I feel sorry for y'all sometimes. I bet it's really frustrating to watch me build these things, because I build half of it and move to the other end of the bus, but there's always a reason. It just doesn't make sense to anyone but me. I don't believe it. So we're going to be working on the front today, and a lot of that reason is I want to make sure that I use my supplies as, you know, as well as I can, because we are trying to upcycle pretty much everything that was already in the bus. So I'm trying to get rid of everything before I have to go to the store and buy anything else. So let's see what we can turn what this was and do something else with it, because it's got to be safe enough to be over your head, and that's not it. So I criticized what was here, and now let me show you what I'm doing to try to build something more stable to be hanging over your head while you're driving. Now, the way these buses are built, it's just fiberglass. So they embed plywood in the weirdest places and the most helpful places. So like here in this area, they need to make the bubble that goes over the cab. So they take plywood like this, and it gets set into the fiberglass. So it is part of this bus. So these are really strong building points. And unlike a school bus, it's made of wood. So it's kind of handy for, you know, what I do. But the trick is, these are really the only secure places you have. And this is where they actually cut away the van. You can still see the sharp metal. They literally cut them out. And then they just put some plastic, you know, stuff over it. But we're doing wood. So we have to extend off of these stationary pieces of plywood and anchor everything to it so that it stays with the bus instead of one screw that makes no contact with the little liquid nail. That ain't gonna cut it, y'all. You're gonna kill yourselves out here. Well, I'm gonna call it the end of my work day, but we still gotta move the love hut and go get supplies. I want to show you guys my little cabinet that I've been working on today. I utilized some doors that were already in the bus. They were a bit crooked, but we got them straightened out. And this passageway will be boxed in from behind, so there's gonna be a lot of storage between these 4 shelves. And then there's also a pass-through into these cabinets up here, because this gap was just not big enough. That's as big as my hand, and that wasn't gonna do. So I'll feel that space will be better utilized from this angle. Also, y'all check this out. We ordered it. I haven't got to use one of these products yet, and we ordered it off Amazon. And Amazon said it could be up to a month until it got here, but we decided to just go ahead and do it. It came in today. As you can see, it's not made in America for sure. I'll show you all tomorrow what's inside of it. I'm super excited. Look at the little snowflake. Oh, y'all check it out. It's starting to look like something. That's not my carpentry. This is a cabinet face off of one of the old cabinets. I'm going to be using it and putting a cover over it so you can still get in here to the giblets and what have you. But I wanted to show you guys this corner. As you remember, that's that piece of plywood that's molded into the bus. And what I did was I glued and panhead screwed or Craig jig screwed to it. And then I filled in on the other side with the same thickness wood, so 3/4 inch. This is 1/2 inch, so I've created this nice extension, and then I did the same here and I bonded it. All of this is Type Bond glued too. So that creates a corner I can shake the whole bus with. And that's what I'm looking for. I also started putting this roof up as well. And instead of actually stapling it and gluing it to the fiberglass, which is what the rest of this is, and for the most part, all of my cabinetry and everything I've built is gonna hold it up whenever it starts to fail. But I just hid the tapered line that was here, and I created a grid work, you can see, because I had some cedar stripping as well. So all of this is cedar over my head. here, I'm gonna be building in a little storage space as well. And so you can still access the plumbing, which I have to replace as well. Still moving, y'all.
Ugh, guys, those skies are not looking pretty. I bet the inside of this bus is, though. Shane has been hard at work all day. And it's almost 7. And I'm about ready to reclaim him. Hello, handsome.
Hello. Did you come to look at my wood?
I'm good. Are you cleaning up?
Sure, we'll call it that. I think it's gonna rain.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm ready for you to come home. Oh, wow.
Boxy, right?
Boxy indeed. Looking good, babe.
That's ugly every day.
Every day. This thing's coming together.
Mm-hmm. Let's go home.
Yeah, let's go hide from the storms. Maybe we'll get some pretty lightning out our window tonight.
Well, good morning, y'all. It's wet. It's gonna rain some more today. I'm gonna get a little done, though. Come on into Shane's automotive upholstery shop. It still looks pretty rough. I promise it's gonna look awesome. Let's see what more I can do before I get wet.